Hi, I'm Jill, your inner healing coach, and today we're going to talk about what I believe is the most important first step to inner healing, and that's renewing your mind. Why do I believe that? Because God says to renew your mind every day by His word, and you will be transformed, not what the world is telling you, but what God is telling you, and God tells us truth. Last week, I read the book of James twice, and I think it could be one of my favorite in the entire Bible. And I was thinking and talking to a friend the other day that if I only read one book, what would it be? I think it would be the book of James, because as a believer, I already know the truth that Jesus died, went on the cross to save me from myself, to save me from this world, to save me from my sins. I know that He already did that. But in order to live, I feel like this incredible life that God calls us to, the book of James is really powerful to help us do that. In verses 2-7, let's start there. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God. So when you don't know how to do something, ask God. When you don't know the solution to something, ask God. When you're confused about something, ask God. When you don't know what the next step is in your life, ask God. Because He gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt. Because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. Now, I wrote an ebook called Your Brain is Speaking, Your Body is Listening, because the person that you speak to more than anybody else in your entire life is yourself. And the body reacts to all the things that you say, because the brain, in God's amazing ways, made it that when you tell it something, that's why there's so many people who believe in manifestations and talk about manifesting things and do affirmations, because the brain goes out to do exactly what you say to it. So all the negative things you say about yourself, all the negative things you say about other people, all the negative things that you believe, all the thoughts that you have is why God says, hold those thoughts captive, give them to the Lord, test them by their fruit. And what are they? Usually they are thoughts that the devil is throwing at you, wanting you to have division, not peace, not joy, not the fruits of the Spirit, not patience, not gentleness, not kindness, first with yourself. And I did not realize until 3 years ago, when I really dove into trauma and understanding what that word was, because I didn't really get it. I didn't understand domestic violence in the sense of emotional abuse, narcissism. I didn't get any of that. I didn't understand what really happened to me as a child when I wasn't nurtured, when I wasn't held, when I was told I was a mistake, when they weren't there for me when I needed them, when my parents did not really take care of me emotionally, when they didn't take care of me physically, when I was abused as a child. I didn't understand that that was causing traumas that would affect me all of my life. And that's most of us. And our generation, if you are over 45, you didn't grow up like these kids do today with trauma and abuse and all these pop words all over the place and narcissism everywhere. It's overused, by the way. And there's so much confusion, and God is not confusion. God does not bring chaos or confusion to our minds. We do. And that's why He says, hold every thought captive. That's why I believe that, yes, manifesting in your mind happens in your body. There are so many scientific studies that show the people who daily have gratitude, how that changes their brain and how that changes their health. 3 thoughts of gratitude when you wake up in the morning. 3 thoughts of gratitude in the afternoon. 3 thoughts of gratitude before you go to bed. Changes your entire body chemistry. This is exciting. So what do I do every day? I have a sticker on my, and what do I advise that you do? I have a sticker on my mirror in my bathroom. And I also have a board that's next to my desk. And on that board has prayers from God, has Bible verses from God, but it also has pictures that are people that I really love and a picture of myself that I really love to remind me of these 6, 7 things. These are things that I say to myself all the time. I am enough. I am worthy. I am important. I am lovable. I am chosen. I am peaceful. I am kind. I am calm. Now, my brain goes into my body, sending my body those signals that I am enough, I am worthy, I am important, I am chosen, I am lovable. Now, maybe some of you have heard of EFT tapping, and you can tap this in just like this, and you can just start tapping it when you say it, and it's sending another signal to your nervous system. You can tap on your chest. We're going to do this on this channel. You're going to learn all kinds of different things, but you can tap that in when you're doing it because it's sending a signal to your brain and to your nervous system to calm down. It's scientifically proven that when you do tapping, EFT, emotional tapping, this technique, you are literally changing the cortisol levels in your body and you're calming yourself down. So what I want you to start practicing, everyone, is to start every day with gratitude. I am grateful, God, that you woke me up today. I am grateful for another chance and opportunity to love you and to do your will. I am grateful that you call me chosen, the apple of your eye in the middle of the day. I am grateful for the people that I have spoken to today. I am grateful for my pet, for my house, for my car, for my roof over my head. In the afternoon, in the nighttime before you go to bed, think of 3 things that you're grateful for before you go to bed. It sends a positive signal to your brain. And remember, the word tells us, God tells us, that the mouth, everything we speak is life and death. So imagine all the life and death that's going on if you're speaking negatively to yourself, about yourself, and when you're speaking negatively to other people, about other people, you're gossiping, and God calls that a sin. So you want to learn to utilize your words and be as quiet as possible throughout the day in your mind and in your speaking. Because the more you say, the more you're sinning against yourself, and the more you're sinning against others, and you're obviously sinning against God. We're to love one another, love each other as Christ loved the church, right? And he gives us this in Ephesians 5. He tells us if we're spouses, how we are to love each other. He tells us in 1 John how we are to love one another. He tells us that God is love. Well, that's what our example is. So if that's our example, that's what we need to do with and for each other. So I encourage you today, step 1, start to get back into the Word of God. Utilize truths. Find things that stick to your heart and your soul. Ask the Holy Spirit before you read the Word to enlighten you, to open up His Word and speak to you because He wants to. And then daily start with affirmations. Every day, say them to yourself. When you start thinking negative, when you start feeling anxious, depressed, or fight and flight has taken over, or you're in a numb situation because you are just too overwhelmed, remind yourself, I am enough. I am worthy. I am lovable. I am important. I am chosen. I am peaceful. I am calm, and I am kind. And if you want to, tap them into your body, tap them into your mind, tap them in, and your body is going to react to these new positive affirmations. There are days, because of all the trauma that I have lived through, and one thing that I realized this weekend when I was sharing with a girlfriend, because I want to write my book this year, before 2024 is over, I want to write my book. All the trauma that I've lived through. And I have to be gracious with myself. I'm 56. I didn't get here in a month. I didn't get here in a year. I didn't get here in 5 years, 10 years. I got here in a lifetime, and mine started out traumatic. So I have carried the cortisol from my mother's body when she was pregnant with me, of being stressed and not wanting to be pregnant and not wanting me, to all of the things that I've endured in my lifetime. And so have you. Be gracious with yourself. So I just encourage you to begin doing this every day. Tell me how it's working. Just even the times of being gratitude, having a grateful heart, and sharing with God things you're grateful for. Share with friends what you're grateful for. Share with your children what you're grateful for, your spouse what you're grateful for. Even just the fact that someone smiled at you, thank you for smiling at me. Thank you for acknowledging me. Thank you for wanting to. I just want to encourage you to take the time to do these things. Renew your mind is going to be one of the most powerful ways to renew your health, balance your hormones, balance your body, releasing inflammation. You're going to see how good you feel and how calm you feel and how peaceful you feel, because the brain is being told by you as many times as it takes. Like I said to you, I've had to do this sometimes 100 times a day, 1,000 times a day. I've had to do it when there's nothing going on in my life stressful, but my body is carrying the stress from any situation that even recently happened or could have happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Your body remembers. So I highly encourage you to go get my ebook, Your Brain is Speaking, Your Body is Listening, and to do these things and let me know how it's working for you. God bless you today. Have an incredible week.